pregnancy. I'm pregnant for months, and then all of a sudden it's ready to be born, and it can be 10 pieces in one flow, or 14 pieces in one flow, or only one piece. It doesn't matter. It's just, it has to come out. It has to come out before I know what it's going to be. I never know what it's going to be. So with the shutters, I saved them for a couple of years. And then I was invited to have a large exposition. And I immediately knew this has to be with the shutters. And they have to represent the 4 directions and the upper spirit and Mother Earth. And the 7th direction is my soul. So this is what I did. Mm-hmm. I also put them, this exposition was in an old church, and that had become a spiritual center. And I created for every corner, for every sacred direction, a shield. And one of the shields is in your program, mm-hmm. and that's the powers of the East.
That's right.
So, yeah, that's what I did. And after that, because people often ask me, where do all those feathers come from? Mm. And they just come. Because when you start, the abundance is going to flow to you. And, well, I receive so many feathers. I have just a library of feathers now, with thousands of feathers. Yeah.
Can I want to share my screen so that people can see the power of the East and see what you're speaking of, okay?
Yes, of course.
And maybe you could tell us a bit about the other two. So here,
yeah.
So here is the power of the East. Whoops, there we go.
Yeah, the yellow one is the powers of the East. And the feathers I use are from a military macaw. It's all one bird. It's all feathers of one bird. Wow. And it's joy, pure joy, and rebirthing, and a new beginning of the day, and the light, inner enlightenment. And this shield is very, very powerful. It's this color is so vivid. It's such a vivid shield. And it brings lots of joy and happiness. It's because of the color of the blue of the feathers. And to know that this is only one bird who has really shared his feathers for creating this shield is a blessing for me. It's a really blessing. Yeah.
And so the yellow is a shutter representing that tree.
Yeah. Yes, the shutter is when you say it's rather big though. It's about 140 centimeters high and 80 centimeters wide. Mm-hmm. So it's almost 1 meter wide. Yeah.
So do you still have all 6 of them in your possession then?
No. I still have the East, the West, and the South, I guess. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Beautiful. And how did I mean, what I'm hearing from you is that you might have all of the beautiful components of what becomes, but it isn't until that intelligence or that voice of what is going to be created tells you kind of how to do it. How did these other 2 happen?
Yeah. Well, the one in the middle is quite a different story on its own, and it's called Being as One. And it is not only because I see all peoples as one people. To me, everyone is brothers and sisters, and we all belong together. But this one is created for a very special occasion, and it was when I was have been invited by Grandmother Flor de Mayo from the 13 indigenous grandmothers, when she had her vision from the Gathering for Humanity. And that was in Santa Fe, New Mexico, and Galisteo, to be really precise. And this gathering was held in the Galisteo, in the center, the Shi Center of Master Ming Tonggu. And at the same time, when I was invited, I received a vision that it was meant to create a shield for all, for not only for this gathering, but for all. And I shared this with Grandmother Flor de Mayo, and I also said, it's not possible to bring any feathers into the United States, and neither it's possible to bring feathers or to take them from the Netherlands into the United States, but I can neither, the other way around is also not okay. So there is a custom on this, and the customers really have laws, and it's forbidden to bring in any feathers. So what we did is that she sent out a calling in the 4 directions in her network to ask for people to bring feathers and to send them to the path, in order that when I should arrive, I could create and start and make this shield. And so it's happened. People send feathers from all over the place, and they send beads, and they send beautiful, beautiful things. And I shared also that I had seen already what I had to create, and to do it on a piece of wood. And this wood is pine wood, and that is very familiar around Santa Fe. So the people there took care of to bring this piece of beautiful wood. And when I came there, all these packages were waiting, and I could start right away. And the Gathering for Humanity was for 5 days, and I created the shield during the night. Mm-hmm. And over days, I was in the wisdom panel of my Grandmother Flor de Mayo. Mm-hmm. So that's how this has been.
Beautiful. Beautiful.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And what about Gateway?
Gateway has been created just after the equinox gathering in last September. This equinox gathering also was meant to be, Grandmother Flor de Mayo should come to the Netherlands, but she didn't, because there were many reasons why she couldn't travel to Europe. And I had received this calling as well to have this gathering created and to make it happen. And I got it from her. And when it was said that she shouldn't come, to me it was like very clear to make it happen anyway, because it's a very important gathering around this equinox, and it was meant for healing, and everything was already going, and it was for Mother Earth. So we did 7 ceremonies for Mother Earth. And after the equinox, just I think 2 days after, I received this vision from this shield. But it was not only this shield. I created in 10 days 10 shields for a new exposition, which began after the equinox, 2 weeks after that. And so I had to create work, but this was really knocking on the door. I wanted to come out. And it is so amazing, because a friend of mine from Germany did a beautiful shamanic performance. And she did a performance from a peacock with her friend. And it was fantastic, really, really fantastic. And it touched my soul so deeply that this resonated. And this is why this particular piece, Gateway, has come out. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So it works always in 2 ways. It's not only me who is receiving, but there's also a trigger because of it.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. Beautiful. Thank you for sharing that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Again, trusting that inner guidance and that inner voice took you in many places, and your art was a huge part of that, it sounds like to me.
Yeah.
And working with those in Circle, when did that start? Because you also do some incredible circles.
Well, that started actually simultaneously when I think at the same time. I started small circles when I just divorced. And that was when I got sick, just what I told. And then when the art came in, at the same time, I started also small circles. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And it was part of the shamanic journey, the shamanic way of learning and of understanding and of bringing things into process and bringing things into practice as well, to share with others. Yeah.
What was the value to you personally of being in these circles? I assume that at least initially they were with other women. What was the value to you from being in circle with other women? And what did you hear or sense from the women? What was the value to them of being in circle?
Well, it's all we do is for Mother Earth. It's for the divine principle. And sharing this and being together and sharing in circle is such a sacred, blessed circle, such a sacred thing. It's also meant for healing for all of us, and not only for all of us, but also for the mother. And I think it works all again, just coming together and being together with women, especially with women, but also in mixed circles. But with women's circles, it's a very deep experience because we are used, when we are in a safe environment, I have to really say that as well. When it's safe, we can share. We can share what is inside of us. And for me, we are all containers holding wisdom. Mm-hmm. And when we have this wisdom to share, our own wisdom is growing as well. Mm-hmm. And we can share it again. And Mother Earth is reaching it to us, reaching it out for us. She already brought it to us before we were born, I have to say. Yeah. It's all in us. Yeah.
She's been holding a lot of resource and awareness, that an intelligent field is specifically for women from the beginning. And I grew up in a patriarchal system in which gathering together as women was very controlled, and so I didn't know that, and so it limited what we shared with one another. So we didn't share deeply with one another, and that's what's different in the circles that I'm aware of is that safety and encouragement, that what is going on really, and in that deeper sharing, the wisdom that maybe even hasn't been spoken by some in the circle has a place to be spoken, and then things happen. Things emerge that begin to make changes in new ways. Has been my experience.
Yeah, for me as well. And in the beginning, when I started with small circles, it was really not so very deep yet. It was very much meant for healing for all. Mm-hmm. And then you also see that the people who are in the circle, because you are reaching out to invite them, they resonate on the same things. So you have the same sort of circles, and then you can grow together into a deeper layer. Yeah. Yes. And people come in and come out and come in and come out. And for me, circling is an important, very important thing. Mm-hmm. And now in these times that there is so much closed, I do my circles at Zoom as well.
Mhm.
And next Sunday, I have the first